The end of the year was just around the corner. The students toiled away in their classes as weather was subsiding from the brown sludgy mess of February into the soupy gray morass of March. And then it happened. The teachers went on strike. It was a fucking miracle. Students were going mental. It was pandemonium in the streets, like a college version of VJ Day, which totally just sounds like a holiday about getting pussy, and probably would have looked very similar. So the word spread fast on MSN, texts, and emails. Classes were canceled. No one knew when the strike would end. No one even knew why it began. But this was our chance to catch up. You know, do a bunch of work in our free time. Huh? Fuck that. The strike starts out and, let's be honest, it was a party. Day after day, I stayed up late, I played video games, I slept in till Lazy Town came on, and of course I drew a large buffer of pages for my webcomic. Not much got actually accomplished, but it felt good. And from what I heard, everyone else was doing pretty much the same thing, so, whatever. The second week of the strike, it seemed like this could go on forever. Any facade of productivity was dropped completely. Nothing was getting done. I wasn't even shaving anymore. Fuck it, who did I have to impress? I'd wake up at like 3 p.m. like, hell yeah, I can beat Halo 2 again before dinner, sweet. What crazy new types of porn got invented this week? Reverse inflation galaxy moms. Alright, let's see how far this rabbit hole goes. Fuck it, I got time. But the third week of the strike, people were like, okay, whoa, this is getting a little bit nuts. We're still paying for these classes, right? And with school on pause for 3 weeks, what are they going to do? Push classes 3 weeks into the summer? Start the next year 3 weeks late? It was that point in a house party where you start looking around and slowly realize that at some point, all this shit's got to get cleaned up. So I went to the bar one night and all my classmates were there, and I ran into Dave, who assured me that not only was he drunk, and had woken up drunk, but that he'd not been sober in, if I recall correctly, 17 days. And I believed him. But he and everyone else were bragging about the art they were doing. Apparently, they'd been quite busy using the strike to catch up or work on personal projects. Oh shit. I had squandered this gift I'd been given. The excitement, which had been replaced with apathy, had turned into apprehension. Yes, our whole schedule was going to be totally fucked up, and I was worried about what would happen when school started again. But I forgot about what would happen because school started again. Now I was not the only one wasting those 3 weeks. Over the course of the strike, I'd popped into school a few times to see Smitty. The photography kids needed the studio to work, of course, so they were there the whole time, and every time I went in, I'd pass by the fundies pit. No matter when I went, no matter what time of day, there was, without fail, a group of Art Fundamentals students playing Smash Brothers. They never moved, and my God, the smell. But the photo kids were productive, and seeing them work gave me that boost of morale I needed to get back in the saddle. Life drawing classes were running at night, the computer labs were still open, I had no excuse. Time was running out, the end of the year was soon. I had to make this count because my future as an artist could well be on the line. So I started busting my ass, but it was too late because just as I did, the strike ended. Fuck me. But this isn't just about me. Let's think about this. I lived at home. I was lucky. But most students lived away from home. They had leases that would expire. They had hometowns to go back to, plane tickets booked, and visas arranged to go back to home countries. They had summer jobs they needed to work to save money for the next year of school. This strike, which had been a veritable vacation for me, was a huge fucking problem for most. Now, just a few months before writing this episode, Ontario colleges went on strike for 5 weeks. And the students had no idea when it would end. I heard faculty members on the radio wishing it would end because they just didn't care anymore. Now, I'm not going to get into the merit of strikes or what detriments they can have, but this isn't a factory halting production of a material good. When a union tells teachers they're going to strike, students are still paying for classes. They are paying for a service they cannot use and don't know when they can use and can't replace, and it directly impacts their careers. Imagine, if you will, going to a restaurant, paying for food, and not getting any. And you don't know when the food's coming, and you can't get your money back, and you can't even go to another restaurant. When teachers are told to strike, students pay the price. The administration says, you guys got to get back to work because you're impacting the students. See, don't worry, we're looking out for you. And the union says, you got to give in to our demands or you're hurting the students. See, don't worry. We're looking out for you. Students get used as guilt tokens in an argument where neither side has a conscience. Teachers want to teach. Students want to student. But when it comes to suits, admin, union, whatever you want to fucking call them, they are businessmen, and they are there to turn a buck. Our strike went on for 3 weeks. None of my teachers seemed happy to go on strike. All of them seemed relieved the damn thing was over, and they didn't really seem very victorious when they came back. It was like a foreign war. We never really found out why it happened, and we didn't really care. Soon it would be forgotten entirely, but for the inconveniences it had caused us. The school year would be extended by a week to sweep the matter away as quickly as possible. Maybe some students did come out ahead. Maybe some of the demands were met, but it seemed to me like no matter who you were, those 3 weeks were a total fucking waste, except maybe the hard lesson I would learn about the value of time.